Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here coming at you with the 8th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Dark Souls Remastered. In this video we're going to go through the catacombs. In the last video we'd gone all the way down through Blight Town and into the Demon Ruins and into Lost Islip to get everything that we needed there, as well as fight the third major boss to get another Lord Soul. Now we're going to head down into the catacombs and get our next boss. So from here we will just run past this guy here and head into the catacombs. Now as you'll see, it's going to be a pretty straightforward path all the way down, and because we have Artorias' greatsword, the actual true version, which is considered a blessed weapon, the skeletons won't revive. Now do note you can also just get a blessed weapon of your choice that you are comfortable with. You can also use the Astora straight-sword, as well as it is also a blessed weapon naturally. Basically, in the catacombs, any of these skeletons can be infinitely revived by the, I'm not sure their exact names, but these guys right here. As long as these guys are alive in certain areas, then they will infinitely respawn. But coming into this side area here, we have our first switch to push. One thing I'll also remember to do is to go into offline mode. So I'll be right back. Alright, so now continuing on, we can now head deeper into the catacombs. So like I said, the main reason why we're doing the catacombs last is because we wanted to have this headpiece that will give us a natural light source. It'll come in handy more or less in the later area, but for now, it's best to have it. So in all of these areas, you'll have that little, I guess, mini firekeeper dude who will respawn the skeletons. For us, we're just going to run past all of them and keep unlocking the area as we progress. As you'll see, it's a pretty straightforward path. Some of the areas do require going to other areas, as you'll see. But coming along here over to this area, you'll find the next lever to push. But as you'll see as well, the skeletons go down fairly easily. It doesn't take too much to take them out. And now we'll run back and head across the bridge here. Take care of this guy. Head on down into this area here. Do be careful not to fall all the way down. And then here we'll have our next switch. Now before we head on, what we're actually going to do is we're going to backtrack up and grab a couple of things. So coming out here and off to the left, make sure you don't just walk forward. If you come off here over to the left, you'll find a secret wall right here with a bonfire that you can rest at. This will be a good anchor point for a couple things that we need to do right now. So while we're here, we're going to head up this little ladder here, and we'll find Patches. Now we're not going to trust this guy in any of his shenanigans, but we're going to just take him out now, that way he doesn't cause any trouble later. Now upon killing him, you'll get the next unique item you need to grab, the Crescent Axe. Now from here, before we head off to the right, what we're going to do is head off over here to the main path right in front of us, head through this fog wall, and if you follow this path that I take, go through this wall here and drop down, you'll run all the way to the back of this room here, past the giant skeleton, to find a unique ring that we'll need for a hidden boss as well as a covenant. Then from here you'll backtrack and head through the broken wall on the left or on your right, depending on your entry of the area. And you'll follow this path all the way up to find this guy here. Now before you continue, you can actually head up this ladder here and we'll find another miracle that we'll need to grab. So if you follow this path here and then kind of roll through, you'll find the miracle tranquil walk of peace. Now you can come right here and fall back down and just be where the earlier area was, as you'll see, like here. If you roll down back onto this bridge, we'll be back where we just were. Now coming back onto this bridge, if we come here and roll forward and then off to the right, we'll find our next item that we'll need to make a boss weapon, the Great Scythe. Now if we drop back down in here where the switch was, then we can come down here, and I cannot stress this part enough, you'll want to walk off this area and fall down to the area below, and I'll show you now. Alright, so you'll basically just want to walk off and you'll land right here, and then you can just walk off again and you'll find some green titanite. Then you can slowly walk off right here and fall down. Now make sure before you drop down again you move a little bit to reset your character's falling, because sometimes you'll still fall all the way down and die instantly. Now here we have our next blacksmith, Vamos. So what you'll want to do is give him the large flame ember, and then give him as well the chaos ember that we picked up in the last video. So now what we're actually going to do is we're going to modify our Zweihander to fire, and then we're also going to modify the Demon's Great Hammer to fire as well. Those are going to be our two items that we are going to fully upgrade using fire to get the fire and chaos. So we'll just upgrade that now. Should have plenty of green titanite for this. Scroll all the way down for the hammer. And then you want to make sure that you at least have 2 red titanite chunks when modifying these. So as you'll see, what you want to do is you want to keep the Fire Demon's Great Hammer at fire, and then we're going to actually take the Zweihander and turn it into chaos. As you'll see, those are 2 pretty good items, and then we're going to just save those for later. As you'll see, being able to upgrade them is pretty good. Now I highly recommend upgrading the Zweihander. Now as you'll probably notice whenever you look at the stats of your weapon, as you'll see on the right hand side, the R1 overall damage is based on the weapon and its scaling. Now as you'll see, just a +2 does better than our Knight Artorias sword, because chaos scales with your soft humanity. So the more soft humanity you have on your person, the more your chaos weapons will do. But from here we're going to head back to that bonfire we rested at. Alright, so from here we're now going to continue heading on down. So from here, as you'll see, we've got a couple things that we can do. Best thing I like to do is just come about right here, and then you can roll forward. And oh, be careful as not to accidentally roll off, but you'll want to jump down to this area real quick. We can come into this area here, and here we're going to join our next covenant and get our next miracles. You'll get 2 in total for doing this. Now do be careful, there is a titanite demon back here that we're going to take care of. As you'll see though, using the sorcery that we have, he goes down fairly easily. Now while we're over here, we're going to grab the last 3 Eyes of Death that I said we needed, as we only need 10 in total. Like I said, if you need to farm them, they are found in the depths from the basilisks. But from here you want to just crawl into this coffin here, and you will wait until a cutscene will play out. It shouldn't take too long for the cutscene to activate. Should only be roughly 30 seconds or so, give or take. There we go. As you'll see, we'll just be chilling. And now we'll be down here in the Tomb of the Giants. Now if we come over here to Nito, we can join his covenant and get that trophy as well. But we're not quite done. Like I said, as you'll see, you'll get his sword and you'll get the Miracle Gravelord sword dance. Now you want to offer him 10 Eyes of Death, and just like that, you'll get the next miracle as well. Now we'll be coming back for Nito, but for now we can't fight him or do anything, so we'll just come back to this coffin here and be on our merry little way. This time it doesn't take too long to put us back where we were. Now from here we're actually going to head down and fight the next boss, which will also get us a trophy. It'll just be a bronze trophy, of course, but still a trophy nonetheless. Now, if you come exactly right here where I am, as you'll see, you can drop down to this area that has the summon sign for Paladin Leroy. Now, after you summon him, you can just drop down right here. And then you can drop down one more time, and then you can just basically make a solid run for this. There should only be 1 or 2 of these bone wheel skeletons who will chase after us. As you'll see, Paladin and Leroy will be in hot pursuit right behind us. But while we're here, we're just going to fall down, and we'll activate the cutscene for Pinwheel. And as you'll see, just like that, Pinwheel has been defeated in no time at all, even before Paladin Leroy even had a chance to come in here. Now, upon getting the Rite of Kindling, will get you the trophy for said name as well. Now from here, we're going to enter the Tomb of the Giants officially. Now, like I said, as you'll see, having this headpiece on makes traversing the area a lot safer. It's a lot better than sacrificing one of your weapon slots to navigate. Now, I'm just taking the most direct path following these prism stones, as you'll see. And then right here is where you would normally find Patches, but we have already killed him, so he's not going to be here. Now from here is your next main bonfire of use. As well, you can also see the lower area where you fought Ceaseless Discharge, just down there. It's a little bit low rendered, but it's still the same area as before. As you see, the lava is still filled in when technically we've already cleared it. Now the first thing you want to do here is you're going to come over here to this ledge with the prism stone, and you're just going to drop down. Now here on these corpses, you'll find a couple of souls, and you'll find the skull lantern. Now this lantern is normally what you're supposed to have and use for this area, but because we have this sunlight maggot, we don't need it. Here you will find one of the, I'm forgetting the name, Petrus's groupies. Now she'll warn us about two hollows up ahead that are pretty tough, Vince and Nico. We can find them in Firelink Shrine before they head here. As you'll see, it goes down fairly easy for us. And then we can come back and talk to her. And she will give us a miracle, and then we can actually teleport out of here. Alright, so the next thing that you guys want to do is basically just warp back to Firelink Shrine, and we'll go and grab the last few miracles that we can get during this playthrough. Alright, so from here you're basically just going to want to make sure that you don't rest at the Firelink bonfire, otherwise that will ruin the whole warping and homeward. So from here we're just going to head back up to the chapel. Because we had saved the lady in the catacombs, I'm forgetting her name at the moment, but because we've saved her, she only will be here at the church just up above for a certain amount of time before she gets killed, which really is unfortunate, because probably not a lot of people know that she relocates here, as you'll see. So what you'll want to do is talk to her, and then talk to her again, and then you can now buy whatever miracles that you don't have from her. Now once you have all of the miracles, pretty much from here you can re-enter the Way of White, but my favorite thing to do is to simply take her out before someone else does. This will get you some humanity and her talisman, which is a upgrade to the normal one we have, but we're also going to rock the Sunbro talisman. Now we can finally warp back to the catacombs. Alright, so one more thing that we got to do here in the catacombs is we're going to have to grab the next ember that we can get for Andre. So from the bonfire you'll want to head up the ladder and then follow this path off to the right. Now here you'll find that there's this tomb that you can fall down into, and as you'll see there is a bunch of these giant skeletons found below. Now depending on how good your aim is, you can probably take some of them out, as you'll see, or you can just do a plunging attack, like so, to take some of them out. As you'll see, it's kind of a bit frustrating. But slow and steady will help you clear out this area. These guys drop the Murakumo and I guess Soul of Brave Warrior. But once all of the giants have been defeated, you can come back here and find the large divine ember. Now we can head back to the bonfire and finally progress through the catacombs. Alright, so from here we can now finally head deeper into the Tomb of the Giants / catacombs. So going the path directly in front of us, you'll find this walkway you can go along. Here you'll find your first unique Tomb of the Giant enemy, that is the weird, I guess, giant dogs. I don't know exactly what they'd be classified as. But there's a couple of them that you'll find here in the area, as well as the giant archers. Now coming down here and off to our right, we'll find the next unique item that we'll need to grab, as well as a black knight who thinks that he can just run up on us like that. Well, that's not how it's going to work around here, buddy. Now, following this path around, as you'll see, you'll find the effigy shield. It's one of the unique weapons in the game that you will need to find and grab. Now, following this path around, as you'll see... Okay. I think I do remember where to go now to find the silver serpent ring. So coming over here to this ledge, you'll basically just want to drop down, as you'll see. And coming over here, you will find on this corpse the silver serpent ring, and then you'll get surrounded by a couple of enemies. Now, coming over here, you can actually jump across, as you saw I do. Now, if you're wondering where we exactly are, we're just at a lower area from where we just were. As you'll see right here, this is where we just were, this is where the effigy shield is. So from here, you'd basically normally head down here, follow this path around off to the left over here, and as you'll see right here, you'd find your next bonfire. Now from here, we're basically just going to continue along this path. You'll just continue holding left and you'll find a smaller ledge that you can walk down. Find a free white titanite chunk, which is pretty nice. And then if you just hold right on this area, you'll eventually come down to this little hole right here. And then you'll be at the bottom. Now make sure that you are in human form before progressing, because you will need to get invaded by a NPC invader here. But while we're waiting, we're basically going to just come down here and take out this, or not, it's crystal lizard. Any extra titanite chunks that you can get is always nice. But as you'll see, the guy who helped us fight Pinwheel earlier has now invaded us. Now we need him to invade us and to kill him, because the weapons he drops, which is his hammer and his shield, are two unique weapons that we'll need to grab. Very similar to Havel's moveset in a sense of its swinging animation. As you'll see though, he went down fairly easily. But as you'll see, you'll get the Grant and the Sanctus weapons, as well as some humanity for your troubles. Now, walking along this main path now, we're almost at the end of the area and at Nito himself. Coming here to this last little corpse pillar, we can just run past these two giants and they won't ever be an issue to us again. Coming here into this final little chamber before the boss, you'll find a bunch of pinwheels, as well as some baby skeletons. As you'll see, you can get ganked pretty hard. But coming over here behind this little pillar, you can find another free white titanite chunk, which is pretty nice to get. Now you can just do some R2s and make some pancakes out of these pinwheels, and they go down fairly easy, as you can see. Now coming up here, we're going to grab this soul real quickly, and then if we drop down here, tucked away in this back corner is the white titanite slab. Now from here we'll basically just drop back down. We at a previous area we were just at, as you'll see. And we can just run past everything else into this last little boarded up chamber here. Now, for the sake of things, I'm actually going to swap to my Artorias sword, just to save on damage, and ensuring that the skeletons don't revive. Like I said, whenever there's a great fall, you can mash the dodge button to ensure that um, you take less damage overall. As you'll see though, taking care of the skeletons now makes it a lot easier. Whenever you hear him scream like that and thrust his sword into the ground, you're going to want to wait to a certain point, and then he will basically stab the ground, and then you can move away. As you guys are seeing though, sorcery is kind of OP. And just like that, Nito goes down. And that is the catacombs. Pretty easy overall, I'd say. Now, one last thing that we're going to do before we are done here is we're going to rest at the bonfire and reset the area. Now, upon doing so, if you come back over here in this corner, normally you should find a corpse that has Paladin and Leroy's full armor set ready to go. Now, if that doesn't happen, you can always quit out and respawn, and then the armor will reappear. Luckily, that is going to do it for this video. Not sure if it was short or long, but it seemed like it went kind of fast. Now, the next video isn't going to be the final video, of course, but it'll be the cleanup video. As you'll see, like I said, the Paladin armor set. But now from here, where we're going to go next is actually all the way to the Dark Moon Tomb. This is that area I told you about at the elevator in Anverlondo, as you guys will soon see. But as always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim. Like I always say, I do hope that these guides and videos are helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, and help you guys get that platinum trophy. But as always, I will see you all in the next video.